Okay, so here we are. It's the Record Night Podcast. I'm joined by Jake and Joe, and we have certainly our most frequent guest, I would say,
I would think
in the
so.
history of the podcast. It's Pat St. John. Welcome back, Pat.
Hey, how's it going?
So we're here for a podcast. We have a record we're going to do tonight that we'll get to, but I wanted, since you're here, it's perfect. I wanted to recap. We went on the road recently, and this is perfect too because Joe's with us, and Joe wasn't at the show, so we can kind of. I want to recap. We saw the Wildfeathers live in Columbus. So I just want to recap the show briefly, and so we can kind of tell Joe about it at the same time. So first of all, I don't know how I want to do this. So we drove down, and one of the things I'm glad we did is we stopped at. I was on the fence. I looked up a record store down there called the Needle Exchange, which I didn't know the name of. I was just calling it like Needles, or it sounded more like a. Yeah. Well, the Needle Exchange itself sounds like some sort of heroin operation or something like that. Which, hey, maybe
they do.
Who knows?
Given the experience we had down there, I think maybe that was going on too. But I was excited because I was kind of on the fence about going to that store because we got to we stayed in a Motel 6, and it was a Motel 6.
Yeah, it did the job.
Okay, so here we are. You see the Kia Rio in all its glory down there. This is the motel room. Here's Pat has joined us. Well, as you already saw in the car, there's Jake. And here I am. Got soap. That's always a good thing.
Don't look in there. Don't look in the tub.
Don't look in the tub.
Yeah, don't do it.
Too late. We see it. I'm not going to get my deposit back now. What was that, a snot rocket you fired in there? But the joke my buddy Andrew made, I told him, this Motel 6 is kind of sketchy. And he's like, he responded, he said, more of a Motel 3 or 4. So I thought was quite funny. But so yeah, we were getting the venue we went to was really close to the motel, so we didn't have a bunch of time. So I was kind of like, maybe we could just chill here. But we decided to go to the record store, and it was cool. Jake, what did you think of the record shop we went to? Describe it a little bit.
It was cool. It was like it's like you kind of walk in, and it almost looked like they might have been like apartments or something at one point. Like you go up a flight of stairs and you walk in. It's like on a small second floor, and it's just like it's like a room. It's like a room, like a big living room, basically, and there was just records everywhere. And it was funny because we walked in and we're looking for an attendant somewhere.
There's music blaring.
Yes,
when we walk into the place.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Sweet, dude.
But we're looking for the guy or the girl, whoever owns it, and like there's no one there. And we kind of just peeked around the corner into one of the back rooms, and he was doing something. I don't know what he was doing, but we just started browsing, and he was completely blissfully unaware of our existence. We were joking, kind of what were you saying about?
Well, yeah, I thought in hindsight, I was thinking it would have been very easy for us to steal many records without the guy ever knowing we had even stopped in, other than noticing a lot of records missing. But yeah, it was kind of awkward. Like we walked in, it was like, I'm like, should we just start looking?
I felt like we were like intruding on something because there's no one there. There's this music blaring. There's like no one, no workers visible. We were just there by ourselves. Yeah. Just like browsing. I'm like, this feels weird. I feel like I'm just like in someone's house.
Yeah,
looking at records.
Right. Yeah. I know, and the music was so loud, it wasn't like, you couldn't just say, excuse me.
Yeah.
You would have had to be, excuse me.
Which was cool.
It was a very nondescript. Yeah. Like it didn't look like a place of business. Like you just, like Jake said, it was just very like you walk upstairs, it's like next to like some lawyer's office, and it's like across the like the one door, if you go left, it's some like lawyer, and then there's the Needle Exchange, which is like right, they're right next to each other.
Right.
And so it was a bit surreal, but he was super nice though.
Yeah, they were awesome guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So once we hold on,
I was just thinking, I said You need to file a Section 2. Like next door to the lawyer's office.
Yeah.
Can't hear anything.
Well, so yeah, once he noticed we were there, he comes out, and what was cool, I was telling Joe about this earlier. He like immediately he had a record player set up, and so he immediately like went through and like picked out a specific record. Like he wanted to
Yeah.
put out this
Hear
record.
yeah, like he was listening. I mean, he was listening to it on a record. Where you hear the needle drop and everything, and
I don't know what it was. It was good. I remember like thinking this is a good record. I don't know what it was or anything.
What kind of music was it? Was he playing?
Like
This is
rock and roll.
yeah,
like
classic
old.
rock.
Yeah.
Sound like 70s probably.
Yeah. So he comes out and he goes, yeah, I had a guy working the register, but he must have left. And then like from a doorway that was just like open in the back, the guy goes, no, I'm here.
He's like laying down.
He's like laying. It was very strange.
It was very surreal. Like it was a very surreal place.
Yeah, they were both together. They were both drinking.
Yeah, the guy had a beer.
Yeah.
Budweiser sitting on the counter.
But
Damn.
great selection. A lot of cool. Like I found a lot of cool stuff. Like they had this Roger Waters record, and it was
Pink Floyd.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like a not for resale. It was a copy that they sent to
promo
like
copy?
like reviewers to review it before the album comes
Oh,
out.
nice.
And I'm like, wow, this is like really cool. And like it was like we had talked about this. Like it was super affordable. Like I'd never seen like
Yes.
not like it. I bought a double LP for $5.
Yeah.
That's
You know,
crazy.
and- yeah.
I still haven't gotten it out. Well, no, I think I actually played it a little bit. I got one of the ones I got was a Joe Bonamassa live at Radio City Music Hall double LP, $15.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It was.
unless this thing
I
is
was.
beat to shit, that's a deal. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
I was shocked on
Wow.
how affordable it was.
Yeah. So the first one I picked up was they had it right in front, and I've wanted it for a long time. Was Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. I don't even know what it's called. I think it's just I Love Rock and Roll. But it's got I Love Rock and Roll and Crimson and Clover on it.
Yeah.
So I've wanted that one for a long time because it's a classic, you know. But it was funny. The guy like he goes he saw I had it. And he goes what'd you pick up? And like he saw it was Joan Jett, and he just really didn't have much to say about it. He's like, and he just kind of like walked away. But he was impressed by Joe Bonamassa later. But what did you pick up, Jake?
I got two Rush records, A Farewell to Kings, and what I think it's called. Let me look. Permanent Waves. I always think it's Imperfect Waves, but that's just because there's a Serge Tankian record called Imperfect Harmonies. Yeah, but Permanent Waves. Yeah. So I spun them both, and yeah.
Mm. What years we talking? Like we
I think
talking
it
old Rush, new Rush.
like 1979,
Oh,
1980.
nice.
Okay, and then Pat, did you mention what you got? I don't think so.
No, I got well, it's a double LP, so like I don't know what the second record. I forget what the name of the second song. So it's two albums, and they just put them in one double LP, like compilation.
Oh, I
Like,
see.
It's Marty Robbins' Gunslinger Ballads and Trail Songs from 1959, which is like a fantastic album. And
It really is.
It's another Marty Robbins album. It's like it was like a package with another Marty Robbins album, which I don't remember the name of. But all I wanted was Gunslinger Ballads and Trail Songs, which is probably next time I'm on the Record Night podcast. It's probably not the one we're not doing tonight.
That'll be so
but
fun.
the one after. But yeah, you like that would be such a fun one.
Someone was telling me, wasn't he like a NASCAR racer for a while?
He was. Yeah, he raced in NASCAR because he made so much money in music. He's like, I just gonna be a NASCAR driver. when we do the Marty Robbins episode,
We'll talk about
his
it,
life is fascinating.
Yeah. Okay. So
Again, $5 for it too. It's
Yeah.
two albums.
yeah.
Crazy.
And he also they made a joke. Remember they were like, oh, like I told you we never sell any country albums.
Oh yeah. They're
Yeah.
having a fun exchange about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so I was glad we went, and then so we left there, and then we went pretty much to the venue, and so we went to the King of Clubs in Columbus, Ohio, and this venue just opened. Like as we got
March.
there, like Pat
Yeah.
looked it up, and which March of this year
Yeah.
is a weird time to open.
Yeah. My guess is they probably were supposed to open last year,
Yeah.
and then obviously this didn't happen.
Um,
But like the owner, like we met the owner. Like when we
Yeah,
walked
when we
in,
walked
that bald
in.
guy, like that was the owner of the fucking club.
Yeah, and so like it was evident that they had just opened and like they really wanted to make a go of this because they were just coming out of the pandemic. And the guy, he's like, thank you so much for coming. We want you to keep coming back. He's like, it's like an AA meeting, except we want you to drink. And so, my speculation as to what the venue used to be is a strip club.
It definitely was.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
I couldn't see it being anything else.
We were making a joke. So first of all, like you could look up. They had like a second. I don't know if it was a second floor.
It was like a balcony.
Yeah, there was like a balcony, and you could see like a pink sign, like with the neon like pink sign. It's like that was the old special room they used to have.
Well, then they had like the the darkened windows and stuff, and
and the other thing was like they had an announcer like in between it. Yeah, welcome to the Kill Club.
Yeah.
Make sure you get your drinks. And I was like, oh, that used to be like the strip club, and that's here comes Coco. Remember to tip your waitresses.
That was the owner who was on the mic.
Oh, okay.
And like I've seen hundreds of bands, and like I've never seen there be like an announcer in between bands,
like an MC.
He's like Well, I've seen like MCs, but like not like that. Like he was just like hyping up the venue, not the band. It was weird. It was very strange. But like the venue, I love the venue. You can tell it was new. Like it was cool. It sounded nice.
The food was good. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
anyone who's down there, fucking go there.
Yeah, if you're a Columbus,
really
shout out
good.
to the King of Clubs. I'd go there
too. You know,
I'd go there again.
Yeah,
it was a great venue. Like the service was great. Sounded incredible. We were right in front of the stage. And,
And Columbus is a good spot. Like Joe, you weren't with us, but you lived in Columbus briefly. So I mean, you've gone to shows down there and stuff. It just seems like it seems to me like more artists like hit there instead of coming up.
They
here.
got a lot of good venues
because all roads lead to Columbus, right in the middle of the state.
Right.
So if you're from Cleveland, Cincinnati, Dayton, it's like everyone just
like
drives.
They've got like King of Clubs was a great venue. They've got I forget what it's called now. It was Express Live. It used to be called something else. Newport and
I love the
Donal's Pizza that I saw a show at.
Yeah, I don't think he said anything at the show. But the opening band, which we'll talk about in a second, Gunk.
Yeah.
Who's from Columbus. I saw him post on like Instagram. He said, "We're playing the Donato's Basement tomorrow."
Yeah, dude, the Donato's.
Oh, Pat told me about that. That's
the Donato's, no joke. Like the Donato's Basement is an awesome venue. Like I saw one of my favorite bands there, and like it sounds awesome. It's super small, and it's like it's the Donato's Basement. I'd go see a concert at the Donato's Basement again.
Yeah, for the King of Clubs, so the stage was elevated. It was very.
It was very high. I never it was very strange.
Well, and of course,
the stage
I bought right when tickets went on sale. I bought like one of the tables right up front. You know, I'm like, I want to be close to the stage.
Yeah, it was socially distant show.
Yeah,
20% capacity.
Yeah,
I think there's that.
Which, well, I mean, I guess like the 20% capacity because it was like pretty packed in there, but like they had tables, so I imagine like the tables would be gone, and you could, or maybe they'd have them like in the back,
like you wouldn't pack
you could have
in.
like a pit.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, the stage was very high, so it was a little bit like being in the front row of a movie theater. Not quite, but I was like, I want to go back there, and the move is the balcony. Like that, that's the spot.
Yeah, I like being in the pit. Like, so if I went there again, I'd probably be in the pit. But if I was in the pit, I'd totally want to be in the balcony.
So, so the opening band Gunk, I thought was really good.
Great.
They were cool.
It's a shame they don't have anything on Spotify.
I know.
Because I want to listen because they were awesome.
Well, they were saying like we're new. Like this. Then weren't they saying like this is one of our first shows or whatever?
Yeah. Well, they had like they were like, okay, guys, this is a new song we just wrote like 3 days ago, and they fucking played it. Like, dude, Gunk is awesome.
Well, that was one of the coolest things I've never actually seen. Is like they went to play a new song and like they fucked it up. Like they just kind of like hit an abrupt ending. Like they didn't really know. They're like, all right, that's what we got. You know what I mean? Like, it was cool. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, they had some cool songs.
And
they jammed and
they
did that Zappa cover.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Yeah. So that was fun.
Yeah.
And back to the stage, it was very elevated, and there was like they built like a baseball fence like in front of it to create like separation. I don't know if that's
it like cast a shadow, and they were like using the shadow as like the 6 foot distancing thing.
And also like it's just a weird like having like a fence, like a chain link fence is a weird barricade. I've never seen a chain link fence as a barricade.
Well, so chain link fence, but then it had like poles like running horizontally,
connected to the stage. Yeah.
And so we're watching the opening band, and they had like a photographer was like running around like taking snapshots.
Yeah,
but so she was in between the barricade and the stage.
Like-
so she's running, and like Andrew was saying, like she didn't really need to rush around. Like it wasn't that big a deal. But like she would like run, and I was like, oh god! Like I kept thinking she was gonna hit her head on one of the poles.
Yeah.
Because, like,
Well, I
so
felt,
she had to like duck underneath.
Like I felt bad because she would like run from one side of the stage to the other, and she would have to duck down the entire time. Like, man, I feel bad for this poor girl. That sucks.
Yeah. I just kept wondering. I wonder if she's ever just like, boom, just smacked right into one of those poles on there.
Yeah, I was afraid she was going to. I'm glad. I mean, obviously, I'm glad that the photographer didn't hit their head.
But then the Wild Feathers took the stage. And Pat, it was your first time seeing them, right?
Yeah.
So what'd you think?
They're awesome. They played a good set. Like I said, I'm not like super familiar with their music. I'm a pretty like basic level fan of the Wild Feathers. I only know like a few songs by them. They like you showed me, and like I've listened to Medium Rarities, which is a great album. And like they played a great energetic set.
High energy, yeah.
Yeah, sounded great. Like we talked about, like everybody was sitting. About 3 or 4 songs in, you remember this? Like he was like, "Okay, everybody, you can stand up." And it was like it was a weird moment because it was in between songs. Someone stood up and like they were like doing something, like they're tuning their instrument or something. Like so, people just kind of there's like a weird like lull after everybody stood up, so everyone just sat back down again. It was really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like a couple songs later, it was like in the middle of a song. It's like a big song, and he's like, "Come on, everybody, get up!" And everybody stood up, and like the rest of the show. And
all right, folks, let's stand up. Let's have a good time. Come on now, feel free. Let the spirit move you, children.
that's cool.
Yeah, it was like kind of a running storyline throughout the show. Like he made
Well,
an attempt, it didn't work.
They made a joke. They're like, "Oh, we feel like we're at a dinner party right now." Everyone's fucking sitting down.
Well, what's cool about that is when we were driving down, that's one of the things I talked about, them kind of struggling to find their audience and like attracting more of an older audience that just wants to sit down, whereas they are playing a high energy set. They want people to like be fucking into it, you know? And so I thought it was cool that he eventually, organically, by the end, everybody was standing.
And then like people were dancing, so it was great because like obviously I used to go to I'd go to 20-something shows a year before COVID, and so it was cool like going to a show and seeing people up and like dancing.
Yeah,
and, like,
that's what I was gonna.
Felt so normal, almost. It was such a cool feeling. Like,
which isn't easy. I mean, I was saying I think before like that says something about the band that they were able to do that because like when you've been like who knows how many people like took the whole lockdown thing seriously, but it's like you're like. And, like, I remember going to the bathroom, like, the guy, like, reminded me to, like, put my mask on and shit. So, like, it was still, there's still that tension, I guess. And to be a band that's able to, like, not only, like, it's hard enough to make a group of people stand, like, by your own merits. But, like, after a pandemic, everyone's still kind of in their kind of bubble mode. And then to get people to stand up and move and have a great time, like, that just says so much about the band.
And, like, I don't know. It was just a cool experience because I remember, like, sometimes you go to shows and, like, people were being annoying or like that's kind of harsh, but like like people were like dancing right near us. So, like I think before COVID I'd be like, oh, this is kind of annoying, but now it's like, oh man, look at everyone's up dancing. It's awesome. It's like so refreshing.
Well, yeah. So it was. There was one guy or a couple of guys in particular that got pretty.
They like, went up to the front.
Yeah. So there's one guy like wanders up to the front and like. He was fine. Like a security guy came by at one point and like just kind of like drew a line. Like it was like the shadow.
The shadow of the barricade.
Like you can't cross the shadow. Is basically what it was. But so the guy like respected that, but he still like danced in that area, and he was kind of like he turned his back to the stage, so he was facing the crowd, and we were in front, so he was kind of like he was right in front of me.
Yeah.
So it was like kind of awkward, and but there were these ladies next to me, and so the guy was dancing, and he's like, hey you down there, like he was trying to get their attention, like so they would see him dancing.
Oh my god.
I
feel like at one point too he was like kind of like teasing the security guy because he was like dancing like kicking like past the shadow.
Yeah.
But it was a fun show. They played a good set list. It sounded great in that venue too.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, everything was clear and
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, fun show. We were speculating about their set list before. They played Fire off of Medium Rarities. That was the only song they played off of Medium Rarities, and that was
which
one
is
of their
my favorite song off Medium Rarities.
And that was one of their new ones, so it made sense because again, like we were saying, like a lot of those songs are so old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just haven't played them. You know what I mean? In forever, so it's understandable that they didn't. So the Motel 6, we go back after the show, and Jake falls asleep immediately. Like I said, we met my buddy Andrew, so Andrew came back to the hotel with us, drank a couple beers, before he went back to his place. And so we're just like, him and I are like talking, and Pat was also having a rough time too. See, we should have stopped at Wendy's, and I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into the details as to why. I just need to go right back to the motel. But so like Andrew and I are talking, and Jake is like snoring during our conversation, and Pat, I didn't know anything was going on, Pat, but you're just like sitting. We were sitting on the bed. Jake is on one bed, and we're sitting on the other bed. So Pat's like sitting there, like, oh god.
I'm sitting like that computer chair.
Yeah. Well, but you got the last laugh because there were 2 beds in the room, and there's 3 of us. So I knew immediately. I'm like, all right, Jake and Pat can have the bed. Like I'm like usually I can kind of sleep wherever, but this motel there was just like nothing really convenient. So like they have a thing, and I don't know what it is in a motel room. Like
I think it's for like laundry or something. It's like
they have like this
it's like stretchy
It
in
looked
the
like
middle.
like one of those portable chairs or something.
Yeah, but it's not a chair. It's like stretchy and like it's like mesh kind of.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I'll try to find a picture of what I'm talking about. Plug it in. But so like I used that and the computer chair and like put them together to like make a bed.
How you slept on that.
No, I didn't sleep that much. But so like the chair would like roll away a little bit from the thing, and I would have to like get it back. And, like so, but so it's funny. Like the next morning, like we wake up. It was like maybe like 7 a.m. and so like I'm ready to go. Like I just want to go. You know what I mean? Like. But I just like didn't feel great. I'm like, I just need to lie down for a minute, and then boom, I just slept for like 2 hours, and I drooled all over the bed.
Yeah.
Like I remember, like I was going to sleep, and you could feel it coming. You do it, like you slurp it back up. So I did that a few times, and I'm like, just let it happen. And so like I wake up, and it's just like everywhere.
Hey, you don't gotta clean it up.
Yeah.
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 I was having a rough time there too.
But well, so then the only other thing is we're driving back the next morning, and I'm not from the area, okay, so I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I had to get into a turning lane, and so I go, oh shit, I need to get into the turning lane. So I look, and now a person behind me has already entered the turning lane, but I didn't cut her off by any means. I've done a lot of driving, you know what I mean, like. So like I got in front of her, but there was distance. Like it just whatever. It's my mistake, but it wasn't a big deal at all. This lady, this was the most intense reaction I've ever had anybody give me on the road. I mean, she's beep, 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 and I can see her in my rearview mirror. She's like cussing at me, and she's like, what the fuck? Like, to the point where, like, at the end of the turning lane, it's a red light. And so, like, I'm like, I hope to God she doesn't get out of the car. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I mean, you guys were there. I mean,
yeah. Well, like,
she was
like,
mad.
Well, like, the funny thing is, because, like, I thought something else was happening somewhere on the road because I'm like it's like you swerved right in front of her.
It was like a
you guys are both slowing down and just going into the turning lane, so it wasn't like a high speed thing. You guys are both slowing down.
Especially because high speed. That's where the anger comes from, because it's like it's dangerous. Like you could have killed somebody. Yeah, like, that's where the anger.
But you guys were both slowing down, and you just went like.
Yeah,
I didn't even know what was going on. I was so fucking out of it at that point. I didn't know what that was going on.
Yeah. Well, and so then so that happened, and then like we're driving back on the highway like later, and this guy in front of me, he wasn't that close, but he like cut over 3 lanes of traffic like to get off the exit, and I'm like, all right, now that guy deserves to get honked. That was a dangerous move. You know what I mean? Like he didn't slowly merge into a turning lane.
Yeah, no, he just cut like full speed through. Yeah.
Yeah, but so it was a fun show. Like I said, we kind of got it at the right time, because like shows are just starting to happen now.
Yeah,
you know
that was the first live music I've seen since March of 2020.
Wow.
Did you guys have any like show? Do you have any shows that you were going to that you're hoping?
Yeah.
Because we kind of hit. Like I was saying, Joe and Jake, like we're one of the few people that can say we saw Sturgill Simpson on the Sound and Fury tour. Like, I mean, that tour barely went anywhere.
Yeah, got
before
off the
he
ground. Yeah.
Quit doing it. But yeah, Pat, are there shows?
So,
Many good ones.
Nine Inch Nails is playing 2 nights at Nautica in September, which I'm excited for. I am disappointed My Chemical Romance delayed their reunion tour another year, so I still have tickets for that show that I bought 2.5.
Yeah,
that I
some
bought,
bands are
like,
doing that. They're still.
I
pushing
bought
it
like
back.
2.5 years ago. I have them on my, I still have them on my Ticketmaster account. But I'm trying to think who else. There's a whole bunch of. If you follow, like I follow like every venue in like the tri-state area on
Yeah,
Instagram, so I've just
That's
seen
cool.
every time I open Instagram, it's like show announcements. Like, this is great. I'm trying to think. Hot Mulligan and Prince Daddy and Hyena are playing at Beachland. So
Oh, nice,
I'm
okay.
excited about that. P Daddy's one of my favorite bands. So I'm trying to think. There's so many shows that I want to see. I know Rage Against the Machine delayed their tour to next year.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, those big ones I feel like
Yeah.
are a little bit more
Them and,
complicated to
God,
get off the ground.
them and Run the Jewels touring
Yeah.
together. Which
Oh
is
my
just,
goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe. Is there any? Were there any shows you were looking forward to, or like that you've been aware of, or?
I was gonna go see MGK in December, Machine Gun Kelly, but the tickets were expensive. Cause I really love his new album. I think it's great. He went from like a hip hop like rapper to like more of
Yeah.
like a
Interesting transition.
pop punk kind of vibe.
Yeah, he's got Travis Barker playing with him,
Mm-hmm.
right?
You know who else I'm seeing? Not to interrupt you, is Dave Matthews Band.
Ah,
Blossom.
DMB.
Ooh, where are they coming?
In September, they're coming to Blossom.
Oh.
I've seen them before. They're awesome.
Okay, well, now we know one that's on Jake's list potentially, but
Yeah.
is there anything else, Jake, that anybody you're looking forward to seeing?
You mentioned the Rage Against the Machine Run the Jewels tour.
Yeah.
They just announced too that there's some kind of music festival. It's going to be Rage Against the Machine and Foo Fighters
Really?
headlining. And my brother-in-law texted me and he goes, "Well, this calls for a vacation."
Yeah.
So I don't know. Next year I might be going to
Yeah.
a music festival.
That would be a great
There's a music
show.
festival coming up in Cleveland in July or August. It's in Cleveland, and there's some good bands playing there.
Dude, whenever Daniel Donato gets here, I'm trying to get everybody and their mother to go because
Yeah.
he's still not playing that big of shows yet. Like, follow him on Instagram if you don't. Like, he's posting videos of his shows now and stuff. It looks like the best.
Is he
fucking time,
touring?
dude. Yeah,
Yeah, he's touring right
He's
now.
in Austin right now, and he keeps tagging Joe Rogan. He's like trying to get Joe Rogan. He's like, he's gonna be doing comedy right down the street. Let's do it. Let's try to get Joe Rogan to come to the show. You know,
I want to see Daniel Donato.
yeah, dude, it looks like
Yeah.
such a fun time. Like, there's these artists that I want to see. Again, not that he's like gonna get huge or anything, but like the intimacy of shows is very important. So you want to
Oh,
get
yeah.
in on that ground level before like they start playing bigger venues.
Yeah.
That's like Sturgill is like that for me. Like, I wish I would have seen him. I didn't start seeing Sturgill live until he was playing like we saw him at an arena. The PPG Arena in Pittsburgh, but before that, even I saw him at the what's the venue in Cleveland?
Masonic?
Yeah, which is a big venue.
Yeah.
So
I've seen a couple of bands there. It's not a bad venue.
yeah,
Not like it. Not a lot.
Yeah, I
of shows.
like
They
it.
don't do a lot of shows there.
yeah. But anyway, it was a fun show, but we got many more to look forward to. So
Yeah.
until then, this is I'm not gonna sign off. This wasn't really an episode. It's just record. This is the record night on the road.